specialist. I learned a lot from Specialist Anderson. Short little Filipino kid. Remember, he was like 5'4", man.
I remember.
He was super short. Yeah, he was like 107 pounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he was fucking squared away. Anderson was squared the fuck away, dude.
Yeah,
He knew his job. I learned from him. I remember that I learned the road from Anderson. I OJT'd with him.
Right.
So, and I thought, this is what I learned about broom and mop patrol.
Yeah.
Up in
red lights.
Fort Richardson, Alaska.
And red lights.
Yep. That's what I learned. This is what I learned. So, there was nothing going on. I was on a mid shift. We were OJTing. He calls us up there, and I can't remember who the desk sergeant was, but he was Sergeant E5, and he was known for kind of fucking ribbing at us because some of the PMO guys were dicks to us, and they were.
I worked there for a year.
Yeah. Right. they were kind of dicks to us at some points, but he was like, "Hey, Cook, I need you." Since you're up here, go down there, tell Anderson that you need to go on broom and mop patrol. And I was like, what's broom and mop patrol, Sergeant? And he's like, you need to go through housing, and if they have an upside down broom or an upside down mop, you need to knock on their door and tell them they need to put it inside. And I'm like, yeah, right, Sergeant. I didn't just fall off the potato truck yesterday, blah, blah, blah. Thinking he's trying to get me to just like some kind of super inside joke about, get me the headlight fluid. I thought they were trying to do stupid jokes like that. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah. He was like, no. Anderson had walked in when I was talking like that. He's like, I was like, Anderson, this guy wants me to do broom and mop patrol. You know what I mean? I thought he was just fucking being a dick, and I wasn't going to put up with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then Anderson's like, no, dude, I'll explain. We do need to go do that.
Right.
And I'm like, well, Anderson's not going to lie to me. He's not going to pull this shit joke. He's too nice. Anderson was too nice to pull those asshole jokes on somebody. And he explains, he's like, yeah, we need to go through housing. They have an upside down broom, an upside down mop. It means that their husband is deployed.
Yep. And
they're open for business. You know what I mean? Basically. And I was like, no fucking way. They don't run like.
That's not a thing.
Yeah.
No.
I tell Dawn about that story all the time.
No.
And she was like, yeah, you were probably there fucking them. We had to go around and count how many brooms were upside down, how many mops were upside down. You had to count how many red lights were put out.
You had to put down the address and what unit was in your logs.
Yeah.
When you had because remember, we didn't have computers. We had to write everything down on a log on your big thick old metal fucking, which I think I have somewhere still.
Right.
Clipboard. You had to write down in your logs. You had to do time, date, there, and they didn't. The boxes were never enough to write enough. Details in it. You had to write so fucking small. Remember?
Yeah.
That shit sucked. You spent fucking 45 minutes trying to put in something that only took 5.
Big Bob, one night I rode around, and I think I counted 43 houses. That was 43 women cheating on their husbands. Yeah.
When I did it, I had 4. I had 4, and Anderson's like, yeah, here's what's going to... He laid it down completely. So here's what's going to happen.
Right.
She's going to answer the door, and she's going to hit on you, or she's going to be either one, act completely stupid and be completely covered up, or she's going to answer the door.
It's going to reek a pot.
Yeah, she's going to, 1, probably reek a pot, and 2, she's not going to be wearing much clothes.
Yeah.
And so I prepared myself for this.
Is it your favorite job?
No, I don't like it. It makes me so nervous. I don't like doing that. I don't like talking to them. Sorry, get back to the story. I go up and I knock on the door. In my MP knock, I know it's like 11 o'clock at night. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I hit the MP knock so they know, and I yell, "Doom, doom, 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 ma'am, military police," being loud and boisterous. Don't give a fuck about it if anybody else is sleeping. My job's more important. I own this shit, Having to pull that shit, she comes to the fucking door, and she's barely wearing a fucking robe.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, ma'am, I need you to take this broom. No, she had a mop. I need you to take this mop and put it inside, please. We were trying to, we couldn't say, hey, quit being a whore. We know what this means.
Right.
You know? We just need to have, we have been getting calls about some bullshit about the area beautification needs to be improved. You know what I mean? Because we can't go there and be like, hey, stop being a whore, take your whore sign inside, you whore. You know, we can't do that as MPs, even though that's what we want to do.
Take your whore sign inside.
Yeah, take your whore sign inside.
Dirty, dirty whore.
Yeah, we can't do that. Say what we need to make it happen and be professional at it.
Right.
And then she'll be like, oh, okay, I didn't know that was a thing, no problem. They're always courteous, and they're like, yeah, of course I'll do that. And then she'll ask you, do you want to come in and get some coffee? Real quick, it's pretty cold out there.
Yeah.
And you'd have to be like, even if you wanted coffee, it would be nice to have some nice-ass coffee, because we're eating those shitbox coffee that makes you fucking explode out of your butthole while you're in full dress uniform that you're all pressed nice and neat. You know, you're not trying to get wrinkled, so you're trying not to go into the bathroom and wrinkle your uniform up is what you're trying not to do. Remember?
Yeah.
And,
see, but we didn't have to go to their houses. When I did it, we just had to ride around and count them. I guess because it got so out of control probably by the time we got on garrison. We just had to ride around and count them at night.
yeah.